Dr. David Schiller here, and today we're going to be talking about gluten sensitivity and your brain, and particularly what kind of damage that gluten sensitivity can cause to your nervous system tissue. Today we're going to be talking about what is called cerebellar ataxia. And the cerebellum is the back part of the brain, and it is associated with coordination of movement. So if your movements have become uncoordinated, or you have some tremor, or you start bumping into things, or you're a little more clumsy than you used to be, it could be due to a cerebellar ataxia. For many people who have cerebellar issues, what they're experiencing sometimes is vertigo or dizziness, or uncoordinated movement. Literally, people say, I feel like I'm moving like I'm drunk, and that can be produced by the gluten sensitivity. The reason why this happens is that there are antibodies against gluten that can also mistakenly go after this nervous system tissue. In the cerebellum, there are cells that help the cerebellum work, and these cells are called Purkinje cells. The Purkinje cells are mistakenly targeted for destruction due to the gluten sensitivity. And these antibodies are not seen in typical gluten tests that you'd get on your lab work from a typical lab that your doctors may send you to. There are only specific labs, there's only one I know of that is looking for these types of antibodies. They're found in research, but many labs aren't using them. But there is one lab that we can send you to that would tell us if you have these particular gluten antibodies. So if you have ataxia coming on your cerebellum, you feel like you're dizzy or unsteady or losing coordination, it could be due to a gluten sensitivity, due to the fact that the body's immune system is not only attacking the gluten that you're eating, but also these nerve system cells. In addition to the cerebellum, there may be also attacks, and they have found that these same antibodies will go after cells in your brainstem, particularly the pons and the medulla, so that we may see changes in your eye movements. So during a neurological evaluation, and we look at eye movements, we'll be very sensitive to how smooth those eye movements look. The bottom part of the brainstem that is now being attacked also can start affecting vital organ functions, whether it be your gut functions or your respiration or your heartbeat. These are the things that can be affected due to the damage produced from the gluten sensitivity going after nervous system tissue. In subsequent posts, we'll be talking things about peripheral neuropathy, restless leg syndrome, MS. All these things can have relationships to the gluten sensitivity and what that gluten sensitivity causes as it can attack the nervous system tissue. So just know that the lab tests that you're being sent for may not be picking these things up because they're just not looking for these particular antibodies. There's only one lab in the whole world that does it, and you can visit my website to see which one that is. But certainly keep this in mind if you're experiencing these types of symptoms or any type of neurological symptoms that has not been explained very well. It could be coming from your diet and the foods you're eating. Just know also that your gluten, you may be even gluten-free. You know this information already. You said, you know what, I'm going to go gluten-free. But the idea is also that you can be eating foods that can trigger the gluten. There are other foods called cross-reactors that can trigger your gluten sensitivity. So it may not just be gluten. It could be dairy. It could be corn. It could be eggs. It could be yeast. It could be rice or oats. There are foods that can potentially trigger that gluten sensitivity. So if you're not eliminating all the foods that can trigger your gluten sensitivity, then you may not be getting the results that you'd like to get. So look for subsequent posts on these types of topics, and we'll be doing numerous ones on as your nervous system and your brain relates to gluten sensitivity. So I hope this helps, and make it a great day.